Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Katrina and today we'll go through a really soothing evening flow that you can go through right before bed. So a really gentle movement. We'll start lying on our backs. So you can find a Suasana, basically, lying all the way flat on your back. Arms can rest by your sides and legs are long. We'll take just a few breaths, a few moments to arrive onto our mats and hopefully leave as much of any thoughts, any concerns, perhaps worries that we might have behind, and see if you can drop into a bit of a softer place. So coming into tune with your body, with your breath, allowing the backside of your body to ground into the mat as you arrive here. We're going to start to hug our right knee in towards the chest. So you can wrap your hands around the shin and then hug the knee really close. Good. And then from here we'll move into a half happy baby pose. So you can walk your hand up towards the ankle, perhaps all the way to the big toe or the outside edge of the foot. And start to bring the knee towards your armpit. So hugging it really close to the upper body. The thigh is really close to the right side of the upper body too. And the foot is flexed with the sole of the foot pointing up. And see if you can ground down the left side of the hip. You can even place your hand on the hip there to kind of add a grounding effect. We'll take an inhale here. And then we'll bring the right knee back in and bring it all the way over to the left side. So drop the knee over, open the right arm all the way towards the right. So we come into a twist here. You can gaze over the right shoulder, towards the right hand. So a really gentle, quite a passive twist for the spine. Allow the shoulder and the right knee to ground down towards the mat. And those 2 points will pull you into the twist. We'll then come back through center. You can straighten both legs out. And then we'll hug the left knee in towards the chest. Going through that same sequence on the left side. First, just hugging the knee really close to the upper body. And then you can start to guide your hand towards the ankle, bringing approximately like a 90-degree angle into the knee. That way you get a nice opening for the hip. See where you can reach with your left hand. We try to keep our spine really, really long. So if you feel like your shoulders are lifting off the mat, or maybe your lower back isn't long, maybe you grab a hold of the shin or maybe just around the knee. That's fine too. Take just one more inhale here. And then we'll bring the left foot in, the left knee in, and drop the knee over to the right. The left arm can open out to the left, and maybe you gaze that way too. So coming into a really soft, gentle twist here. Allow the weight of your own body and gravity to kind of create this shape for you. And once you have the shape, you can just melt into it. Good. We'll then find our way back to center, and now hugging both knees into its chest. You can grab a hold behind the thighs and rock yourself up and down a few times. You can go the full length of the spine, and perhaps with the third or fourth round you come over your ankles onto all fours. Good. We'll keep our knees under the hips and walk our hands forward towards the top of the mat, finding an anahatasana, so our puppy pose. You can rest your forehead on the mat, Or maybe even gaze up, lifting your gaze up and resting the chin on the mat. We release, relax through the heart, through the shoulders, getting a really beautiful opening in that region. Keep pressing the hands to the mat. Beautiful. And then you can start to walk your hands back under the shoulders. We're going to inhale into a cow pose, so drop the heart, lift the chin. Exhale, round through the spine. We'll do that once more. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Then sitting back into a child's pose, you can move your knees a little bit wider apart and sit the hips over the heels. Rest your forehead onto the mat for a moment. Allow your lower back to lengthen. Allow the hips to really relax. You might get a nice opening in that area by just allowing the hips to be heavy. Well done. From here, we're going to press our palms down and roll forward. Weight comes onto the hands, and then we drop the heart and push the hips back. Good. Coming into a cobra here. Inhale and exhale back down. We're then going to reach our left arm out to the side, right hand under the shoulder, bending through the right knee. We'll turn into a broken wing. So coming onto the left side, the right hand can stay sort of in front of your face for support, with the left palm down. And then finding as much softness in the upper body as you can, releasing your head onto the mat. Maybe allowing the hips to pull you a little bit deeper into the pose. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale, turn back onto your belly. Bring your left hand in, coming into one cobra. Pull the shoulders back and down. Exhale, back onto your belly. Then extending your right arm out to the right. We bend through the left knee and turn all the way onto our right side. Now using your left hand to push the mat away from you if you want to go deeper, or then just using the weight of the hips to do that for you. Relax through both shoulders, through all the muscles of the neck, all the muscles of the face as well. Good. And then we start to turn back onto our belly. Good. Hands can slide under the shoulders. We inhale into a cobra. And exhale back down. Good. We'll then push onto hands and knees and come back into a child's pose. Good. Extend the arms forward. Release through the hips. And then with our next exhale, we're going to roll the spine all the way up. The knees come in. Beautiful. You can then shift into a seat just on your sitting bones, so coming over the ankles. And then we're going to open our legs out into a wide-legged forward fold. Take a moment here to just find your sitting bones. Make sure you're sitting tall. And then as you exhale, you can start to fold over the legs. It doesn't have to be a big movement. If you stay quite far up here, that's completely fine, because this can be a really major stretch for the inner thigh as well, perhaps for the hips and the back as well. But maybe with time, as you take deep breaths, as you repeat this posture, you're able to start to go a little bit lower. But let's keep this really soft, really kind of gentle and effortless. We rather move down with the breath, so every exhale maybe melts you a little bit deeper rather than pushing, rather than forcing anything. We definitely don't want to be doing that. So really a gentle forward fold. Good. We'll take one more inhale here. And then as you exhale, roll the spine back up, walk the hands in. And we're going to hug the knees in. You can hug them in towards the chest for a moment. That might feel good after this stretch. And then we'll extend the legs out straight. Now, depending on the flexibility of the backs of your thighs and your hamstrings, you can either keep the legs straight as they are now, or you can bring a bend into the knees. I really encourage you to bring the bend into the knees if your hamstrings are at all tight. We're going to start to bring our belly close to the thighs. So we're aiming to really have our belly in contact with the thighs and then reaching for the heels or the feet. And now if you're quite tight in the hamstrings, if you straighten out the legs, you'll have a big curve in your lower back. It will be quite uncomfortable for you and you can't really fold forward. You can't get the momentum. So if you keep the knees slightly bent, you'll still get a stretch in the backs of your thighs and it'll be much better for your lower back. And once you're there, if you feel like you can go deeper, you can start to straighten the legs out, but try to keep your belly as close to the thighs as possible. See how it feels if you relax your neck. You might feel a stretch all through the back body. Well done. And then we release the feet and roll the spine up. You can shuffle forward a little bit, bend through the knees, reach your arms forward, and then find your way onto your back. Good. We're going to hug the knees in towards the chest. First, just hugging them in really close. You can gently sway from side to side. And then we'll come into a full happy baby. So grabbing the ankles, the shins, the big toes, wherever you can reach, wherever it's comfortable. And just keeping in mind that we're still trying to keep our shoulders grounded on the mat, our low back on the mat too. So finding that length in the spine, and then that way you can also get a really beautiful stretch for the hips. Good. You can then bring the feet back in, and we're going to lower the feet onto the mat and keep the feet together and then open the knees out to the sides. So we come into a Supta Pada Konasana. Hands can come to the belly and the heart center to find a bit of grounding here. Finding a really soft place to arrive at. Can you deepen the focus on your body? Can you stay super aware, super present? Sinking deeper with every exhale, grounding close to the mat with every breath. Releasing a little bit of something with every exhale. You can take as long here in our Supta Pada Konasana as you like. This might be a really nice pose to hang out in for a bit. Or if you feel like you're ready to end this practice, perhaps move on with your evening. Maybe just crawl to bed. You can release your hands, bring the knees together. And then we'll fall onto one side, and from there push back up into a seat. You can find a cross-legged seat if that feels comfortable. Find softness around the shoulders, around the hips. Allowing yourself to deepen the breath for just a few breaths here. Moving out of this practice in a very soft, gentle way and taking that energy and that intention with us. When you're ready, you can bring your hands to heart center, expressing gratitude for this movement, and then bowing your head towards the hands. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me for this really, really gentle evening practice. I hope it served you today. I hope it was what you needed in this moment. If you do enjoy my practices, please do subscribe to my channel. You can find the subscribe button just under the video. I post a new flow here every week, so I'm here every Thursday. I hope I see you here next week too, and I wish you a really good night. Thank you.